Welcome back to the Ultimate Beginner's Guide. In today's episode, we're going to do a small tweak from one of the layouts we did last episode in order to make it 100% efficient. And then we are going to set up tractors in order to automate our AI limiters. For the versatile framework layout, there's something that we need to do in order to make it 100% efficient. You can go to the last smelter that we have here in our versatile framework setup, and we used to underclock it. Let's go ahead and add a power shard to there, and then let's overclock it so that it creates 35 per minute. Now we should be creating 155 total ingots per minute. We are using 60 of these over here in our constructors, and then back here for the foundries, we're going to be using another 40, another 40, so that means 140, and then over here 15, so 155. So we had already underclocked this last foundry, but we didn't have the power shard in order to supply enough of the ingots. So now we have that going. This setup is perfectly fine, 100% efficient. All right, now that that's fixed, we want to start working on the AI limiters. Before we can do anything though, we got to unlock the AI limiters, and then we'll talk about what we need to do. Let's go ahead and build a M.A.M, and then we can go down to the Caterium line and unlock this Caterium electronics. Now we'll be able to find the AI limiters down here, and we're going to go ahead and start that research. Why do we need AI limiters? Well, it's mostly for these guys, these smart splitters. And that will allow us to do all sorts of fancy stuff for helping with load balancing, but also to output all of the extra stuff we're making into an awesome sync in order to start creating more and more coupons. But AI limiters are useful for a lot of other things too, so we might as well just start creating them while we're waiting for the phase 2 items to finish. While we're here, we might as well get the zipline tool too. That'll come in handy, I'm sure. And then probably the power poles. All right, let's have a look at what we need to create the AI limiters. So we need 25 copper sheets and 100 quick wire. So we have the quick wire coming in here, but we also need copper sheet. There are two ways we can go about doing that. So our Caterium setup is over here, and this is our phase 2 factory that we've built. Now we're already bringing in a line of copper here. We don't see it, it's in the back, but this is the copper. It's coming in right here, and it's currently tied to a Mark 1 miner. Now we could upgrade that miner, have double the copper coming into this factory, and then what we could do is just get this Caterium all the way to this factory. Will be good to make the AI limiters here. And that's most likely what we're going to end up doing. And honestly, setting up tractors might be a little overkill, but we're going to do it anyways for this to bring the Caterium over here. And the main reason is just mostly about showing you how to set up tractors and how to get them going. But you could belt the Caterium straight into there if you wanted to. And we'll also need coal for the tractors because they'll need some sort of fuel source. And if we just bring in the coal into the tractors, everything can be automated. You're going to need to unlock the vehicular transport milestone in order to get this whole thing started. So let's go ahead and do that. So now that we have tractors unlocked, let's go ahead and build a platform. We're going to do this platform right underneath our phase 2 factory, right next to where these lines are going up. We're just going to extend this platform here. So now we can go ahead and build a truck station facing over here where all these belts are. We want to make sure we have enough room. So we're going to center this. Give about three platforms on each side. That should do it. And maybe we'll bring it up a little bit, just like this, just to give enough room in the back here to play with the belts. So let's give this guy some power. Down here on the tractor stations, or truck stations, I should say, you have an option here for unload and load. So in our case, we're going to unload the items in this station, and we're going to want to load the items at our Caterium station over there. So you can give all sorts of names. You can rename this to phase 2 station, let's say. And here it can accept some fuel. So all trucks will need some sort of fuel. The easiest way to do that would be, for our case, to use the coal that is being provided here. So what we could do is just go ahead and add a splitter here. And then we can go ahead and belt, even just a Mark 1 would probably be enough here, some coal straight into there. Now this is going to take it from the other layouts for a little bit, but that's okay. What we are going to end up doing is upgrading this belt to a Mark 3 belt all the way to the node. And we're going to need more coal when it comes to the SAM fluctuators. So we can go ahead and do that whenever. I'm just going to upgrade these for now, but we are going to go ahead and upgrade the line all the way back over there. And we're also going to have enough things to create a miner Mark 2, because we're going to upgrade that SAM node to a miner Mark 2 in order to double the production. And while we're over there, we're going to try to remember to bring 2 power shards too. In order to overclock the SAM node, we are going to need to double the output of that node. So perfect. So now for this, what we could do is just add an industrial storage container, and we're going to add it to the output here. And then we're going to belt out of there into this industrial container. So now this truck station is pretty much done. When we're ready, we'll just bring the Caterium and we'll bring it all the way up. Now, when it comes to doing tractor highways, there's a couple things that make it a lot easier and honestly mandatory. And this thing is the asphalt foundation. And the reason you want to get asphalt foundations is because it will help you hide the Z fighting that will naturally occur when you're doing some curves in your road. I'll show you what I mean. So let's say you want to start curving your highways. Let's say we're going out like this and we want to start curving our highways. Now there's a couple ways to go about doing that. One of the ways is if you have catwalks, you're going to add one catwalk here on the side, and then you're going to go and hover around the middle top here of the other catwalk. It'll create another catwalk hologram right in front of it. Then you want to hold control and mouse wheel. And if you're doing it in the right location, you're going to see that it's going to start pivoting in these small increments. Now we want to curve to the right. So we're going to just go ahead and rotate it by 1 increment here towards the right. And then we're just going to click, and then we're going to create 2 catwalks just like this. And we're going to keep doing that until we're happy with the curvature of the highway. So we want to head about over there. So this is probably okay. The only thing here is viewing this, we're probably going to hit this rock here. So maybe we either want to go to the left of it or we're going to go to the right. Let's try to go to the right. So we're just going to have it curve one more time. Now you're going to go back. We're going to copy the foundations here, and we're just going to place it so that it lines up perfectly with each two catwalk. Okay. Then you're going to want to have zoom mode on. You're going to left click, and then you're just going to go ahead, and depending on how big your curve highway is, I recommend 4. So I'll probably go 4 deep here. We're going to go ahead and just zoom just like that. And we're going to keep doing that until we're happy with the curve of our highway. Okay, so now you can see here what's happening is all the different lines of the foundations are all crisscross, and it really looks kind of ugly. Although technically now, if we remove these catwalks, you can see that we have a half decent curved highway. So what we can do is use the asphalt foundations and turn everything into asphalt. And if we did it right, of course it helps to having changed it to asphalt first, but yeah. So Let's just finish these guys up too. Okay. Now, if you did it right, it's a lot better. It's not 100% because, you know, of this, but it's a lot better than what it used to be. So yeah, so that's typically how I build the curves in my highways. So definitely get the asphalt customizer option as soon as you can, because this will become handy. So we're just going to go ahead and upgrade these foundations to asphalt. Everything over here. Perfect. Now let's work on the blueprint for our highway. All right, so what we want to do here for our blueprint is going to be just to do a simple 4x4 foundation. We're just going to keep this in a 4x4 asphalt foundation, and that's it. That should be more than enough. You can add barriers if you want. You can do all sorts of stuff. But for now, this one highway is just a single highway, like a single tractor highway. So we're not going to worry too much about it. And then we're going to save it here as a 4x4 highway. And let's go build our highway. So after our curve here, what we're going to want to do is just take our highway blueprint. And then we'll hit H just so that we can snap it. We can hold the hologram, and then we're just going to make sure that it lines up with our curve pieces. And there you go. And now if you want, you can just go ahead and toggle the mode to blueprint. And then it's going to snap one after the other, and all you do here is you just run and just left click as it snaps. Let's go ahead and continue our highway. Now it looks like we are going to have to go a little bit to the left here to avoid this. So same thing, we're going to take out the catwalk intersection. Now this time we want to go this way, so we're going to place it at the end here on this side. And then we're going to go here, hover in the middle, and then we're just going to have it rotate one notch, and we'll have another one. And I think that's enough. Like, we just have to do one little nudge, and then we seem to be fine. And then we're going to do 4 wide here, because that's how big our highway is. And then we could just remove these guys. And then we can continue the highway with the snapping. All right, we're getting pretty much to where we want to be here. Let's go ahead and continue. We'll just continue the highway, maybe 1 or 2 more here. And then we'll add a little truck station here. So let's add maybe 1, 2. That should be more than enough here, just like that. The tractor will come in like this into a station somewhere around here. Let's go and add a station. So we want to put this pretty much in the middle, and let's make sure we have a little bit of room here. Something like this. Okay, perfect. We'll just bring the Caterium ore into here. So we'll put in an industrial storage container like so. So the Caterium is going to come in here, and then it can go into here. Now this truck station, like we mentioned, we want to make sure it's set to load. And we don't need fuel at this one because our tractors are going to get fueled at the other station. Okay. So let's expand this. All right. Now to connect our platforms together, there's all sorts of stuff we could do. But I'll show you another trick, although this will require you to getting the beams. So the structural beams here, let's add that to our cart and buy those. So first we got to make sure that this is all raised. I think this needs to be up 2 more or so to match with this guy. So what we could do here, let's get the beam. The painted beam is what we're going to use. And we're going to put this in the middle of this 4 meter high foundation here. We're going to click once. We're going to change the build mode here to freeform. Make sure you change the build mode to freeform. And then we're just going to have it snap. You want to have the same height. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to change back to default mode here. And we're going to go 4 meters in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to click. And then we're going to go in 4 meters. So 1, 2, 3, 4 meters, just like that. Okay. And then you can grab a new foundation. So you want to pretty much aim in the middle of, at the end of this painted beam here. You just want to aim there, and you'll see that it's going to create a perfect turn here. And so what you want to do is you want to zoom it down to the highway, or, you know, whatever you want to change, like how wide you want this to be. We'll have to do the same thing on this side. So we'll have to remove the beam here, and then you don't want to have this part in yet, because we have to use the exact same, you have to use the same starter foundation and end foundation on both sides, okay? So we're going to start with the beam again here. Painted beam. I'm going to start on this side this time, and then we're going to change it again to freeform, and we're going to go right here. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to go change it back to default. And we're going to go 4 meters in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go 4 meters in like that. Grab a 4 meter high foundation here this time. And hover over the end of this beam. And you'll see it has the right turn. And now we can take out the beam. So now you'll see that we've connected these perfectly together, just like so. And so if we want, let's say we wanted a 2 wide here. Let's do it like so. And there you go. All right, so we got this connected, and we're going to go actually and change this. We're going to put our industrial beam storage container. We're going to place it right about here. And then we're going to connect this together. Let's add a ramp. We're going to have to redo these posts. Connect the power there, and then we're going to connect it. There you go. Perfect. What we're going to do is upgrade this to a Mark III. I don't know how much, we're going to have to go see how much we can provide here. But let's just upgrade everything to a Mark III for now. And then we need a Mark II worth of belt. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's overclock it to 240. As long as you're doing 120, it should be more than enough, because right here, we're not really producing more. So the whole 120 would have went over here. So we don't really need to overclock that just yet. But all right, so we got our Caterium. Now, the last part of this setup is setting up the train or the truck itself. So let's get rid of this. And let's go ahead and build a tractor. Now, ideally, we would have fuel. I don't know if we have fuel on us.
Tractors have a self-driving feature.
I mean, we do, but it's not the best fuel. Let's just do that for now, I guess. So in order to do the automation here, it's fairly simple. We'll hit Q here to open up the recording menu, and we're going to do start recording. Then we're going to go ahead and just go underneath our truck station, and we are going to wait, and then we're going to press F, and it's going to load our tractor here. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and drive around. Ooh. Stay in the middle of your highway. We're only adding one tractor to this highway, so that's fine. Should be fine. And we're going to drive to the other tractor station. Now, when we reach the tractor station, try to do a wide-ish loop here. Not too wide. And then we're going to go in and we're going to unload. And then we're going to go and then we're going to drive back onto the highway. And we're going to head back to the other truck station. Now, obviously, if you had multiple tractors on this road, you wouldn't want to go in the exact same area that you came on the other side, because then you would have collisions. But we are not going to have multiple tractors, so we don't have that problem. And you just want to go to where you started. Okay, now the path recording is complete. So what we'll want to do here is just go ahead and hit the recording menu and then enable autopilot. And then you'll want to get out of your truck. And then as soon as you do, it should start. Oh, no, there you go. Not entirely sure why, but it was stuck for some reason. The thing with tractors is the less you look at them, the more it works. So don't even look at it. Don't even look at it. He finally came back. Let's just have a look here and see if it's going to load some up now. Yeah, see, it's all gone now, so it's all in the tractor. So now it's working fine, or it should anyways. So what we want to do here, we're actually going to go at the other end. Once it gets there, we're just going to go ahead and fuel it up with the coal. Because right now, there's still some solid biofuel in there. And A, we need that solid biofuel. And B, if it runs out in the middle here, it's not going to have enough fuel and the whole thing will stop working. So we just want to make sure it's actually got coal in it. There you go. The fuel came in. Fuel's in there now. And we should have the Caterium. Perfect. So the tractor's set up perfectly now. So we've got our Caterium coming in here. And there's no point in upgrading these to Mark III, although I guess you technically could. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. The first part of the setup will be the copper. We are going to want to increase the copper going into our factory. We are going to upgrade this to a miner Mark II. Okay, so now we got 240. And we're just going to need to upgrade this to a Mark III belt. And we'll be good for the copper. We got enough copper coming in now. So copper is good. Now we want to go upgrade the coal, and we're going to go and double the amount of SAM ore that we're taking out of that SAM. All right, so let's just bring this to Mark IIIs. Okay, and that should be almost, oh yeah, this right here, Mark III. So this is a pure node, and it's still only a Mark I miner, so we can upgrade this guy too. Okay, now we've got that upgraded. So we should have 240, so that's more than enough. Now, the Mark III belt can go up to 270, so if we really wanted to, we could overclock this, but we're actually going to need slugs for overclocking that over there. So I don't want to waste that on this, because we don't really need it just yet. Make sure you have 2 power shards for the SAM node. Okay, we'll need some more power shards. We'll have to put 2 shards in here to overclock it to 120 per minute. This was underclocked, so now we're just gonna take the full 100% speeds here, and then we'll be doing 30 reanimated SAM per minute, and this is gonna be sent back down to where we were. So now we're good. Now that we've got the Caterium coming in, let's go ahead and bring it up. We'll make sure that all our things, the Caterium, the extra copper. Yeah, so this needs to be a Mark III. We're going to bring that up all the way as a Mark III. And then we'll bring a Mark II conveyor lift here for the Caterium. And finally, the coal here. Let's make sure that we're bringing a Mark III up. Okay, so conveyor lift 3 is already here, and let's do that for the coal also. And we're going to change all of this to a Mark III, and we're going to bring the coal back up too Here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring it up right like that. Okay. Then we are going to bring this up with a Mark III. And then we can place a splitter directly on here. Just like that. This is a new change that they added, which makes things super convenient. Actually, now we can bring these back down to Mark IIs, actually. And now we have a splitter line directly on this lift. So that works good. The other thing that we are going to need is this iron node right here, actually. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to bring up the iron. Except here, we'll probably want to bring it up over here. And the reason for that is because we need to split this line. The splitter needs to be at a certain height. Let's just place it here, and then we're going to bring down a Mark III directly here. That works for now. Perfect. And then the rest here, we don't need much, so this could be a Mark I. No, we can't do that. We need a Mark I over here. We'll use the curved, I guess. Yeah, let's do the curve. Look at that. So yeah, that lift needs to be a Mark III. There, that's better. Okay, so we got the copper coming up here. Probably going to remove this because we're probably going to go up more. Let's just have a look here. Yeah. So let's go up like that. So now we got to bring all of these up. Let's bring a Mark III up. And then we're going to add a splitter. And from here, let's bring back the Mark II belt. We've got the iron that needs to go up. Let's add another hole. These can both be Mark Is. We're not going to really need more than that. At this point, I decided to move the Caterium line here over because it was going to clip in a splitter on the above floors. Okay, Caterium's heading up. Let's go up to the next floor. Okay, 4 smelters for the copper and 3 smelters for the Caterium. Now the Caterium is here, so we could actually have it come out like this and then go into a splitter here, and then we'll split down the line over here. So for the Caterium, we are going to need 2 to be working at 100% efficiency. And then the last one, we are going to underclock it. We only need 10 per minute on the last one. So for the Caterium, we're going to merge everything towards the left over here. And they can all be Mark I belts. And now we need some splitters in front here because we are going to add some constructors for the Caterium, the quick wire. So for the quick wire, we need 4 constructors. So we're going to go in from here to there. Again, with Mark I belts. That should be more than enough. And we're going to need 1 last splitter. Actually, we don't really need a splitter, but I like to keep things consistent. And then we're going to add our 4 constructors. Right there. And some Mark I belts between all the splitters and the constructors. So these are all going to be doing Caterium, or quick wire, I should say. But one of them needs to be underclocked to about 33%. So let's go ahead and do that. We need a total of 200. So the last one should be only doing 20 per minute. all of them will merge this way, and we're going to come out on the last one here. And you're going to want to put some Mark III belts in between these guys. Mark 1 from the constructor is good enough. But between the mergers themselves, we're going to put a Mark III. So the quick wire is done. Deal with the copper sheets over here. So we should have a total of, we need a total of 100 copper over here. So let's do that. The last one can be underclocked to only do 10 per minute. And now we're going to set our splitter manifold line. And we'll make sure to provide a Mark II belt. Let's add the power lines right now. Now let's merge the copper over here, and we'll then have them go into 5 constructors for the copper sheets. 5 over here. To avoid this there, our way up, we are going to merge this way and then come back over here through the splitters. Okay, Mark 1 between the smelters and the mergers is fine. And I tend to usually just start using the highest belt that I got, because I'll tend to bring any more of the lower tier items. So I'm just going to do a Mark 3 belt here, but this could be a Mark 2 belt. And these are, I'm going to do copper sheets at 100% efficiency, every single one of them. So we should have a total of 50 copper sheets at the end of this. We're going to merge that way and then come back. Now, if you have the blueprints from before, and if you're following along, you can just use those. I did lose my blueprints, and we are going to make new ones. However, I am not going to do that just yet. So this could be Mark 1, actually, because we're only providing 50. So let's give the power to these guys too. Perfect. And now the last thing we need to do here for the AI limiters is going to do the 2 assemblers for the AI limiters. Let's grab our assemblers like so, and we'll skip the one in the middle. The one coming in from this side will go on the bottom. So we might as well just add a splitter here. And then from the one from here, we'll go on top. Just like that. These ones should probably be Mark IIs, because they're taking in 100 quick wire per minute each. And we'll need to give a Mark II in the middle here. And then a Mark III from here, our merger, into this lift right here. Okay, so now we can set these to be doing some AI limiters. We're doing 5 each for a total of 10 per minute. Now 10 per minute is a lot. It's probably overkill, at least for now. You can go ahead and sync them if you really want to and you're not using them. That's totally fine. All right, last thing we're going to do here is merge. And then add it to a storage. Now we just need to give power to this whole setup. I guess we'll go from over here. And we'll connect down here. So like that. And then we can go ahead and connect this to our existing pole network right there. A little quick recap. we have 120 Caterium ore coming in here, and we're splitting that into 3 smelters. These are all doing Caterium ingots. The last one here, this one, is underclocked to only produce 10 per minute. We should have a total here of 40 ingots going into the constructors. And the constructors are doing quick wire. We have 3 doing them at 100%. And the last one is underclocked to 33%, only to do, I believe it's 20. Because they each do 60, so we only need 20 on the last one for a total of 200 quick wire. Now the 200 quick wire head into the assemblers, 100 each. Now for the copper, literally unplayable. Anyways, so we got 120 copper coming in here into 4 smelters. These are doing copper ingots. One is underclocked to 33%. And then we are sending them over into 5 constructors doing copper sheets. None of them are underclocked here. And then the 50 copper sheets are then heading out into the assemblers. And the assemblers are doing AI limiters for a total of 10 AI limiters per minute. So that is our AI limiter 10 per minute layout. For the SAM fluctuators, we are needing manufacturers. So although we brought the things up, we can't really do the layout just yet. We are going to wait until we have the manufacturer unlocked in order to automate them, but we have all the ore ready to go. So now, hopefully, we have all the stuff needed to complete phase 2, and we can go ahead and do that. We'll also finish the extra milestones that we haven't done yet, like the expanded power infrastructure. And we have a lot of things like automated wiring here. We are going to use automated wiring later on, but you could sync the items if you need to. I'm just going to grab 2 stacks for now. Now this will probably run out of space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're not quite there yet either though. So we still need 300 more. You can manually feed it into the space elevator. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to finish the milestones while we're waiting for all the items that are needed to complete phase 2. All right, let's go in and hand in this, our expanded power infrastructure. Perfect. And the only thing left here is our jump pads, which we still do not want to do. But I mean, we might as well at least complete the milestone. In the meantime, there's a couple things we could do, and I will be doing here. And that is just sprucing up our factories. And for that, we need a couple things. We'll need our concrete foundations, which we haven't had yet. We could do things like concrete wall, steel wall. Of course, we're gonna not have, oh yeah, we do have enough here. And we could get fancy with some of this stuff, but we'll just stick to the concrete foundations and the walls. I think that's a good start for now. And then we're gonna go ahead here and just upgrade our foundations to concrete so that it looks slightly better. All right, we've upgraded our starter area here in concrete. We also took care of this factory and pretty much everything. Like this guy, we even did the steel factory over there. So everything has been turned to concrete to make it look better. We can still do more. I'm waiting to unlock windows and before we do more with this. But I think this is a good solid start. We should have the things to complete the space elevators. So let's go do that. Okay, perfect. We got the jump pads. So now we put in the rest of these items that we need. And there you go. Finish phase 2. Send that off. So there you have it. We've set up our 10 AI limiters per minute. We finished phase 2 and we did all that with setting up a basic tractor setup. Next episode, we are going to dive into creating our motor factory in order to be able to unlock oil. I now have an official streaming schedule, so come and say hi on Thursdays and Fridays. I'll see you guys in the next one.